Hello guys, welcome back to IC Shades and to our 2D Arena game course. In this one we will start with a challenge in which you will have to make an animation with a small twist, and then we will talk about changing position with animation. Do not forget to click that IC like button and the subscribe button as well, and if you're ready, let's dive into it. For the challenge, I want you to create an animation for the red thunder, and I want the red thunder to rotate. There is a small twist, we will talk about it afterwards, but for now, pause the video and give it your best shot. Congratulations if you have done the challenge, and if not, let's do it together. So last time we let Unity automatically create the component, the animator controller, and the animation, and this time we will do it manually. So click on the animations folder. We will right click here, create animator controller. We will name this red thunder. Then we will create the animation, right click, create animation, power up animation 2. We will then link them together, double click the red thunder, we will see the animator tab opened, we will drag the power up animation here, you can see the orange arrow from entry to power up animation 2. This lets us know that from the entry, that means from the spawn in our case, the animation state of our game object will be power up animation 2, and that's what we want. We can now close this tab. We will go to prefabs and drag the red thunder to our scene. And we will have to add the animator component. I'll put the inspector here so you can see. So add component animator. We can see here the controller spot, and we have to drag the controller, the red thunder controller, in the controller spot. And we have to go to power up animation 2 and put it on loop time. Check the loop time box. All these things were done automatically by Unity when we created the animation in the last video. Actually, the way we created the animation in the last video. So now we have done it manually. Now let's create the actual animation. Double click the power up animation 2. I will put the inspector back here and drag this back. Okay. Clicking on the red thunder, we will add a property. This time transform and rotation, because we want our red thunder to rotate. In the first frame we will let it on the Z rotation to 0, and on the last frame we will put it to 360. So click on the record button, go to the last frame, go to rotation Z axis 360, unclick record, click play, and this is the problem I was talking about. I think we have a bigger problem. Unclick play, go to the last one, we have 260, click record again and go to 360. Okay, now unclick record and click play. So the problem that we have is that at the end of the animation our thunder slows down and actually stops for a fraction of a second. Let's fix that. Unclick play, go to curves, and now you will use the shift button to make this smaller in height, and the control button press down to make this smaller in wide. Now we can see the whole animation. We will right click here on the small bluish circle, right click both tangents linear, right click at the end, both tangents linear. This makes the speed of our animation linear, so now it won't stop. Click play and you will see the red thunder rotating without stopping. Unclick play. Now we will have to apply this all to the prefab. So click on the red thunder in our scene, overrides apply all. Now we can delete the red thunder from here, and we will click play, and let's see if we have red thunders rotating and yellow thunders pulsating. Rotating, rotating, rotating again, and now there you have some yellow thunders as well. So now let's talk about changing the position with animation. We will create a power up test. So create empty. We will name this test. We will have to have a sprite renderer. We will go drag the thunder into the sprite spot. I will put the color to black, order in layer 1, create the animation the easy way. So click on the test, click the animation tab, create. I will put this in the animations folder. I will call this test. Then add property, this time transform and position, and we can actually create an animation from the scene. So click on record with the move tool selected. We can go here in the middle, move a little bit our thunder, and then when we one click record and click play, we can see that our thunder is moving right and left. Unclick play. Now we will make the prefab. So in the prefabs, drag the test here. Now go to power up spawner, and I will put the test in element 0 and in element 1. I will delete the test from the scene, and then I will click play to see what happens. So what will happen, we will see in the same position the power-up spawning over and over again. You can see now that are more than 2-3 power-ups here. And this happens because the position that we created with the animation is relative to the scene and not the game object. The game object actually can be here or here, but the animation automatically teleports right here. So we must make the animation relative to the game object. Let's see how we do that. We will have to create a child for our test power-up because the child will have the position relative to the game object. The child will have to have the sprite render. So we will drag the test into our scene and we will create a child. So right click, create empty. So this child will have a sprite renderer. We can actually copy the sprite renderer from the test. So right click here, copy component, go to game object, right click here, paste component values. We will rename this to child. Now we will delete the sprite renderer from the sprite renderer component from the test game object, remove component. Now we will go into the animation, into the test animation, delete this property and add another one, clicking on the test, add property, child this time, active, transform and position. Now we must click the child, very important to click the child because we want to animate the child. Okay, click record, go somewhere in the middle, move it in the scene to the right, and click record, click play to see if it works. Okay, now apply this all to prefab. So apply all to prefab, check the power up spawner, we have test and test, then click play, and we will see that now the animation is wherever the power up is spawned. I have deleted everything from the test power up, the test animations, and so on and so forth. I have put in the power up spawner the yellow thunder and the red thunder back. Let's check if everything is okay. To sum it up, if you want to change the position with the animation, you will have to make sure that the position is relative to your game object and not to the scene. Everything works fine, and until next time, stay frosty and extra spicy.